They've got to hold on to HIV. Why? To hold on to their funding.
It's a disgrace for any other disease with this much disagreement about the cause. We would by now have a balanced portfolio.
They're dispersing AZT to 200,000 Americans in the name of a hypothesis that stands unproven, a drug that is the most toxic drug that has ever been licensed for long-term consumption in the free world.
How the United States gave AIDS to the world.
Acquired immune deficiency syndrome, known best by its acronym, 4 letters we've been told to fear. The AIDS crisis is very real. Its dark form casts a shadow over the statistics of the dead and dying. Virtually non-existent in 1980, by 1995, AIDS had afflicted over 1.5 million lives globally, 500,000 in the United States alone. AIDS has become the leading singular cause of death in U.S. males between the ages of 25 and 44. It's been called the plague of the century and portrayed like some medieval nightmare. It knows no pity and respects no limits. We've been told that it can strike anyone and everyone is at risk. For over 15 years now, AIDS has terrorized social America, and still there is no cure. What causes AIDS? We've been told that AIDS is caused by this tiny retrovirus. Its name is HIV, and virtually everyone who is infected with it is expected to develop any one of 30 different diseases, all of which ultimately result in death. To stop HIV and AIDS, the U.S. government has enacted emergency measures, spent $40 billion, and mobilized the greatest scientific research effort in the history of man. The war against AIDS has spent more money and utilized more scientific talent than it took to land on the moon. All this to fight a microscopic enemy, and still there are no certain results. After 15 years, the public asks, why? There is a good explanation as to why the war against AIDS has been a total failure. We've spent all our time and money trying to stop this virus, HIV, and as many top research scientists have tried to point out, this virus is not the cause of AIDS. For over 10 years, this argument against HIV has been dismissed by the government, suppressed in the media, and disputed by the political economic powers of the AIDS industry. Yet, since 1987, a growing group of scientists continue to make this unnerving allegation. AIDS research has not failed because it never found a cure. AIDS research has failed because it never found the cause. Is this virus, HIV, really the cause of AIDS? If it isn't, why are we being told this?
The virus that causes AIDS.
The virus that causes AIDS.
The AIDS virus.
HIV, the virus that causes AIDS.
The public has been very supportive, yet with over 100,000 research papers published on HIV and AIDS, there is still no direct proof HIV causes immune deficiency. The entire government-funded approach to fighting AIDS is based on this unproven hypothesis hanging from a frayed thread, and with the weight of mounting evidence against it, this hypothesis is in serious trouble. In fact, the entire international effort to stop AIDS has all its eggs in one beaker. Time, money, treatment, and millions of human lives hang in the balance. If HIV is not the cause of AIDS, millions of people have been told that they're going to die for no reason at all, and hundreds of thousands have been treated with permanently impairing drugs, some of which could cause AIDS themselves. If HIV does not cause AIDS, how many lives have been lost to a misdiagnosis, and how many more will die in the future? In the next few minutes, we will present 10 scientific arguments that explain why HIV does not cause AIDS, what the causes could be, and why treatments with dangerous drugs like AZT are unnecessary and cause the very disease they're supposed to prevent. We will also explain to you why this information has been kept back from the public awareness, and why the U.S. Department of Health, the pharmaceutical industry, and AIDS activist organizations have perpetrated this myth. As citizens, taxpayers, and people who also someday could be at the mercy of a misguided program like this, we hope you will see the importance of this issue.